All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles made it official when they inked a 5-year deal for $255 million with their starting quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Both sides had agreed to the contract last week, but it was made official with a press conference for all of the media, of course, in the Philadelphia area. Now, on the surface, the Hertz deal will make him the highest paid player in National Football League history. But let's not gloss over the fact that it's not fully guaranteed, as most NFL contracts are not guaranteed, of course. While at some point you got to expect that the Eagles and Hertz will either look to restructure this deal or, of course, work out an extension, which will give the Eagles more cap flexibility. Now, $180 million of this deal is guaranteed. And for Jalen Hurts, you just look at what a football journey it's been for him. You know, he was the starting quarterback at Alabama. He got benched there in the championship game in favor of Tua Tagovailoa, then eventually losing his job altogether to Tua before he transferred to Oklahoma in 2019. And he was able to reinvent himself and make himself more of a thrower of the football at Oklahoma than he was at Alabama. And then, of course, there were some questions about Hertz's ability to be able to throw the football down the field consistently heading into the NFL. But the Eagles saw something in him and they used a second round pick on Hertz in 2020. Now, of course, Hertz's breakout performance was last year. He went 14-1 as a starter. He helped Philadelphia reach the Super Bowl. And even in defeat, Hertz had a tremendous game. You know, once you put aside the one turnover, but he went 27 of 38 passing for 304 yards with a touchdown throw. And then he also ran for 70 yards on the ground while also getting 3 rushing touchdowns as he was going blow for blow with Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Now, the bottom line is that Hertz is a winner and nothing seems to phase this guy. And it's one of those where every place that he's gone, you know, his teammates loved him. They loved him at Alabama, they loved him at Oklahoma, and they love him in Philadelphia with the Eagles. And I believe that the city of Philadelphia loves Hurts as well because he's a guy that to me embodies the city of Philadelphia. He's tough, you know, you can't slow him down. You know, he just basically spits in the face of adversity. And these are like some of the traits that, you know, the city of Philadelphia has been known for. And I think that the fan base there has definitely gravitated to him. Now, getting back to his contract, you know, it appears to be big on the surface, but the Eagles do have some flexibility with this. As you know, Hertz knows that he's not a one man band. He's not going to get this done by himself. You look at this past season, Philadelphia en route to the Super Bowl was one of the deepest teams in football. And that is once again going to be a key for them as they look to get back and, of course, ultimately win the Super Bowl. Now, Philadelphia definitely has a chance to add some more depth in the first round of the NFL draft on Thursday. They have the 10th overall pick, courtesy of a trade with the New Orleans Saints, as well as their own first round pick. I do expect Philadelphia to go at some point offensive line. You know, the O line has been a strength of this team for so many years, especially going back to when they won the Super Bowl several years ago. But nonetheless, I think going forward, you definitely want to get the youth movement there. You're running the ball effectively. You have some quality wide receivers with Devonta Smith and AJ Brown, and then of course the litany of athletes that they have on the defensive side of the ball. Of course, Hertz was quoted as saying, "Money is nice, championships are better." And the bottom line is this guy wants to win, and he brings that winner's attitude. He's brought it every place that he's gone, and you know what? He is going to keep the Eagles in championship contention, in my opinion, as long as he is their starting quarterback. Now, the quarterback gets the fame, the fortune, the glory, and the blame as well. But in recent years, we've seen more signal callers that are willing to take more team friendly deals. Yeah, you know, the contract number looks high, but it's not fully guaranteed. A lot of bonus money, you name it. But at the end of the day, more quarterbacks are realizing, hey, you know what? I can't do it by myself. I need a team around me if I want to win. So you look at Jeffrey Lurie, the Eagles owner. He's been in that position now for nearly 30 years. Howie Roseman, who's running this front office, and Nick Sirianni. You look at Howie Roseman. I think people are starting to realize this guy really knows his ins and outs as far as running a front office for the national and for a National Football League franchise. But he's been doing it for years, and this is another staple for his as far as taking care of his guys, getting that cap flexibility, and then of course building that depth. And you look at this working relationship that Hertz has with the Eagles front office. I think this is a relationship that could work for the next decade between both parties. And you look at Philadelphia, what's next for them? Like I said, it's all systems go for them heading into the draft. They've got their quarterback taken care of. I think they're going to take care of some other players on this team as well. They're also going to look to add depth. And this is why the Eagles have been a consistent contender for more than 2 decades now, because of their ability to draft, because of their ability to view and scout and develop their talent, for their ability to keep their key players in the green and white for years at a time. And I think keeping a guy like Jalen Hurts in the fold was a no brainer. Some people may have laughed, some people may have scoffed. Definitely not in Philadelphia when Hurts was drafted in the second round, but nonetheless, again, Howie Roseman in his front office, they know what they're doing. They see talent. And at the end of the day, Jalen Hurts is a winner. That is something that you can't coach. But this is definitely going to be a solid working relationship going forward between the Eagles starting quarterback, his head coach, and Nick Sirianni, the front office, and his franchise as a whole. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, and I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.